Hi Heather.
Good morning, Dan.
We are in Malmi at last.
We are, finally.
This
Yes,
one's been on the list for a while.
it has.
So let's do a bit of sort of general background on Malmi first, shall we?
Alright. What have you got for me?
It's a regional centre and a major district in the northeastern part of the city, and its population as of 2008, which was the last statistics I could find,
What?
was 24,312, but it's been around that level for about 20 years. So.
It's about 25,000 now.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
not so
well,
many.
it's still around that level.
Yeah.
There are 6 sub-areas, 3 of which I've done thoroughly, and 1 of which you've done thoroughly and forgotten the other 2.
Oops, my bad.
And the name Malmi appears in old documents in the forms Malm in 1543, Malmbu in 1551, Malme in 1589, Malmsbu in 1590, and Malmn in 1592.
Okay, it's a Swedish word,
Yes.
and it's all about like military training ground and campground, and it has nothing to do with Malmi, which is the Finnish word for ore.
Malmi means flat and sandy forest land.
In what? Finnish or Swedish?
Finnish.
I thought Malmi was the word for ore.
The word refers in particular to a wooded somersault above its surroundings, such as
Okay.
a gravel ridge.
But it was originally named Swedish because we were part of Sweden. So
Right.
it was a
Yeah.
Swedish word.
That's my general. I didn't
Okay,
put much
that's
in.
cool. So, 1500s there are already like small little, like, yeah.
Mini communities
Mini
going
communities, that's a good way to put it. 1700s it started to become a little bit more like a town. 1800s, and in fact the late 1800s, when they were building the railway between Helsinki and Hämeenlinna, got a station, and then another station came 1895. It was 2 kilometres long, and guess where it went?
on. Tell me.
Cemetery.
Of
Cemetery
course.
had it. We'll get to the cemetery a little bit later.
That used to be the most important thing in a community almost.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, my dad used to have this really terrible joke, and I'm sure you've heard it before.
Go on.
Dead centre of town. Sorry.
Not so much in Malmi anymore,
Not
at least.
so much in Malmi anymore. We won't talk about the cemetery yet. All right, so where are we now?
We are in Tahtari-Harju. As far as I can tell, it refers to the small patch of land between Tahtari-Harjuntie and the E75/101 roads.
It is, yes.
It's really just a small corner, and it's mostly industrial. It includes a core outer pro centre.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
on the other side.
And a couple of lunch restaurants for the businesses around here, but otherwise it really is just businesses. But you like the buildings.
I love the buildings because they look like these old Korean War era airport hangars. So they're these corrugated iron arched buildings. And we're going to take a picture. This one's for rent. I don't know how much it costs, but anyway. So I really like these buildings. And just imagine how much space there is inside.
And how cold they are.
Okay, and how cold they are. Yes.
A metal box in minus 20. Yeah, sounds appealing.
Yeah, fantastic. Actually, we've picked a great day. The sun is shining.
Okay, we are at Malmi Airport, Malmin lentokenttä.
Yes.
So, what year was this opened?
1952.
No.
1939.
It was opened in 1936.
Right.
The terminal building, which we are standing outside now,
Yes.
was completed in 1938 and opened the same year, designed by Dag Endlund and Vera Rosendahl.
Okay.
It was amongst the first in the world to be designed from the beginning as an international airport.
Yes.
The Winter War interrupted the civil aviation here, and the
Yes.
airport was taken over by the Finnish airport.
Yep.
And when the
Air Force.
sorry. And when the continuation war ended in September 1944, the airport was taken over by the Allied Control Commission. It was returned to the supervision of the Finns at the end of 1946.
Right.
So, what year was Helsinki-Vantaa opened?
Oh, 1971.
No. This is a recurring theme everywhere we go. Everything happened in a certain year because of a certain event.
No, 1950. No, not 1952.
Yes, it was.
Helsinki.
Helsinki-Vantaa Airport opened in 1952 because,
Yeah, it did, because of the
this
Olympics.
airport was
Yeah.
thought to be not big enough to handle
Yes.
the volume of traffic
Yeah,
for the Olympics.
that's correct, yes.
So let's move forward a lot from there. On
Yep.
the 23rd and 24th of July 2019,
Yes.
the airport hosted Ed Sheeran's Divide Tour, and it has a record in Finland for having the most attendance over 2 days and the most tickets sold for a 2-day show in Finland. 108,000 attendees.
Okay. I was not here for that.
I was not either.
You know who I did see here?
Tell me.
Leningrad Cowboys I saw
wow.
here. Yes, that was really cool.
What year was that?
That was, they had an air show here. 2012, perhaps?
Okay.
I can't remember. I think it was about then.
There have been many gigs here. The air shows used to bring tens of thousands. When
Air shows were really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, of course, there are no air shows in Finland anymore. We had the Red Arrows a few years ago, but other than that, there's not really anything like that here anymore.
No.
So the city of Helsinki owns the land and terminated the lease for aviation purposes in December 2019. This is quite a sad story.
It's a very sad
The remaining runway was closed in March 2021, and after legal disputes which were eventually resolved in favour of the city, the airport was removed from FinTraffic's EAIP manual in June 2025. As of 2024, the city plans to construct approximately 25,000 new apartments on the site.
Yep.
So this bit I found very interesting. The citizens' law initiative Lex Malmi, supported by more than 56,000 Finns in just 2 months, called to keep Malmi Airport in aviation use and was presented to Finnish Parliament on the 8th of February 2017. The aim was to secure the future accessibility of the airport. In the end, the Speakers of Parliament prevented it from being voted on. So it was basically dismissed from Parliament without any motions carried, which is sad. 2 out of 3 of Finnair's pilots were trained here back in the 90s. However, by the time we got to the 2000s, traffic was dropping off and dropping off and dropping off, and it probably wasn't worth keeping it open.
Okay, but did you ever come here when it was an airport? There was plenty of light traffic flying in and out. I understand that maybe it wasn't fulfilling the purpose to 100% of its capacity, but then search and rescue were based here.
But they moved out long before all this started.
Yeah, but they kind of saw the writing on the wall.
And that was 18% of the traffic that
going. Yeah, because it was the writing on the wall that it's going to be closed.
Obviously, they've started because now it's 2026. They've started the building. We can't. There's a lot of works going on, but we can't actually see any houses or flats going up yet.
Nothing. I mean, it's all right now. It's infrastructure, so they're putting in new roads and space. Well,
everything's quite fenced off.
Everything's very fenced off.
But it's just a big empty space at the moment.
Yeah.
You can see how many flats you can get on this space. I mean, from a city perspective, what a massive waste of space it is to have it as an airport when you could have that many more houses here.
True. Okay, it's a nice skiing ground at the moment. We got a playground here. Can I just say that I was one of the people that voted, that put my signature on this Lex Malmi. The city shouldn't be just houses. I think that cities should have open space and green space, and there were no fatal plane crashes here, so there was no safety concern with the airport. It was all little aeroplanes coming and going.
I think that's the problem, though. If back in the early 50s, when they were thinking about building a new airport, they'd invested in the infrastructure here as well as building the new airport, it might still be feasible. But they decided that building the runway here was going to cost more than building an entirely new airport. And that's why they built Helsinki-Vantaa. So that's the airport. Unfortunately, a sad demise to what was a once great airport and Finland's first airport.
No. Helsinki's second airport. The first airport was actually a seaplane.
Yes, that's true.
At Katiunokka.
Yes. But
we haven't talked about Katiunokka yet, so we'll talk about that later.
We'll delve into that a little bit, because basically when this was built, all of the pilots panicked a bit and removed all the skids and brought their planes here, because the seawater doesn't help metal, as we know.
Yeah.
So bringing aeroplanes here made a lot more sense.
Malmi Cemetery is the largest in Finland, not only by size, like area, but also by the number of people that are buried here. So, got a question for you. Quiz time. How many people are buried here? Is it A, 200,000, B, 500,000, C, 1.5 million?
Oh, 500,000. 1.5 million.
No. 200,000.
Okay.
200,000 spread over 65 hectares.
Which is how many kilometres? Square kilometres?
6.5.
Okay.
Isn't it? 6.5?
I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. There is a map where you can actually search. You can put in the name of the person, or a search function. You can put in the name of the person, and then it'll tell you where they are. We're in front of like lane 31 and 32. As cemeteries go, it's very beautiful. Of course, the same happens on Christmas Eve, as we talked about in our Korosari episode, that people come and like light the candles.
Actually, this one is a bit posher in a way, because they've got the candle containers next to all the graves ready to have the candles put in them.
Yeah,
you don't get
true.
that in many of them.
Yeah, true. We did see a living creature. What did we see?
We had a deer jump out.
Yeah, that was quite
Not
exciting.
quite in front of the car, but close.
Close enough.
Yeah.
And as I alluded to earlier, they had their own train station. So from Malmi to here, that ran until 1954. So 1895 to 1954, you could actually catch the train from Malmi to the cemetery. So it was originally it was built as a funeral train.
Right, so you had the procession would be the train.
The procession would be on the train. Yeah.
Okay. So what year did this become?
Yeah, 1890.
1890.
1890.
So actually that's a lot of bodies put in the ground in 130 years, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely. 200,000,
Wow.
give or take. Yeah. Do you remember the Murmaki bombing?
Yes, I do. When the guy set off the ball bearing bomb.
He's
I
buried.
just moved to Finland.
Okay, he's buried here, which I found it a little bit odd that his name is actually mentioned.
We are in Pilajisto now, a typically densely built 1970s suburb and an extension of the neighbouring Pihlajamäki.
I'm going to say very brutalist architecture, no matter which direction we look. So yeah, I would 1970s. Welcome.
Well, building work began in November 1969.
Yes.
There was actually a bit of a battle between two companies as to who was going to do the building work. And what they did is they were both based outside of Helsinki, and they traded land with the city so that the city got a little bit of land in other areas. I can't quite remember where they were. Most of the flats in the central area are 6 to 9 stories high, and on the edges 3 to 4 stories high. The construction of the shopping centre, which we're standing next to, was delayed by a dispute over the location of the youth facilities. They were ultimately not built at all, which later resulted in disturbance problems.
Why is it? It's always blamed on the youth. And why
Whereas
were
it's
they-
the
why were
adults
they-
who didn't give them anywhere to go, yeah.
Yes.
Basically, what they had planned to do was build this to get people to move to Helsinki as a new sort of regenerative area.
Okay. Yes.
However, that didn't quite work, as only 10% of the residents who moved here came from outside of Helsinki. A lot of people moved here from out of the centre because it was cheaper.
Right.
So the district is also close to the green areas of Vantaanjoki River, and at somewhere there are some fitness stairs which lead from this area through the fields of Savila to the riverbank, which were put into use only 5 years ago. There's a few walking trails leading from here to Pihlajamäki, one of which starts directly north from the shopping centre, dives into a small swampy canyon, passes Vuolakiventie on the north side, and ends in Rapakiventie near one of the largest ice caves in Finland. But we'll explore that when we hit that area.
We will. Yes.
Now, one interesting thing I found about this is there used to be Helsinki's namesake tree, a maple, which grew in the yard of Pihlajisto Elementary School. The city owned the tree, and it was protected by the Environmental Board in 1998, and it was chosen as the most beautiful maple in Helsinki in 2000. I mean, imagine the person who comes up with these bloody awards. In honour of the city's 450th anniversary, that was. However, we can't visit it because it was hit by a storm in 2017 and it was unsafe and they had to cut it down.
I vaguely remember talk about the storm and the tree, but yeah.
So a recent addition, light railway line 15, runs along the border between Pilasto and Viikinmäki. The border area was originally the Hertoniemi Harbour Railway and was later converted into public transport street Maaherantie.
Yes. We'll get to that in a future episode.
So we're standing next to the shopping mall, but this here is a deep pit-like courtyard, the first of its kind in Helsinki, and as you can see, they've kept the original side
The ceramic works.
Yes.
Yep, tiles.
Well, the ceramic works were for another reason. That was to celebrate something else. They came a little bit later, but the wooden sides
the
along
wooden
here,
wall. Okay.
That's the important part.
Very nice. So I imagine that this would be a really nice terrace in the middle of summer. But right now, that's a very sad-looking terrace.
It's a bit cold-looking, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yes, what we have just gone past was the gold and silver stone sculpture. And we also went past the sculptural street lamps, which were... There was a people's initiative to improve the area, and the funding for that was forced out of the city of Helsinki to help make the area look better. So they got a stone and a couple of lights.
Okay, but these initiatives to improve areas, the city do it all the time now. There's less of a fight.
But this was back in the 90s
days.
when it was still a battle to get anything out of the city.
Well played.
Especially after, obviously, there was the financial crash in the early 90s.
True.
So Finland was struggling a bit back then. But as you say, it's a bit of a brutalist area. Everything's high-rise blocks and... It's a bit depressing, isn't it, really?
Yes and no. I mean, we have clear blue skies today. The sun is shining.
Yes, but that's not related to this area, is it?
No. I mean, yeah, it's a bit stark. But there are a lot of actually fairly mature trees here, which I think would soften the area.
In the summer, yeah.
In the summer, yeah.
Okay, so just to finish off the Pilajisto thing, we've just been past what is known as the Alkumuna sculpture. That means the first egg, for those who don't speak Finnish. It depicts the first verse of the Kalevala, and it was donated by the city of Budapest in 1971, donated to the city, and it's by Hungarian artist Tamás Ortutay. It's opposite the sculptural street lamps we talked about previously. And yeah, it's in an odd location. We were looking about for it for a little while, weren't we?
It's a very odd location. Actually, it looks very beautiful with the snow on top of it.
It's supposed to shine when the sun is shining.
Okay, I guess the snow is hiding the shiny bit because I didn't see anything
I think it was
particularly
quite
shining
snow-covered,
today.
as you'll see in our pictures in the gallery. Yeah, it's an odd place to put a sculpture. On the corner of a road which doesn't have a footpath.
True.
I think you can see it from the other side as well, but that's a car park for a flat, so... I hope the Hungarian guy didn't come over and see where they'd put it and go, oh, for God's sake, people, come on, is it that bad?
We are standing almost at the top of Pihlajamäki, or Rowan Tree Hill, I guess you could say. And this is one of Helsinki's, actually not one of, it is the first suburb that was planned as a suburb. So these days, when every new area is being built up, they put down the street plans and they work out the buildings and all that sort of stuff. It's not organic, it has to have a design, and Pihlajamäki was the very first place, and it is now protected. So as you can see...
hang on, sorry, what is protected?
The architectural style. So this is all built in the 1960s, and it is protected.
Wow. I wouldn't have bothered, but okay.
But actually today is really not the best day for seeing it, but we've got, if we come this way a little bit, for example, like the buildings here with the graphic colours, that's not a school, that's a residential house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
So they had residential buildings that had nice bright colours. We have this quite particular architectural style. The top of the hill in Herttoniemi also has a few buildings like this.
Yes.
7,500 people live here. There are only 700 employment possibilities. The ice cave is here. We still haven't... We are going to have to... We did try. We are going to have to come back. All right. So where are we? We are in Malmi Market, which is under renovation. So City of Helsinki are at the moment busy working on renovating all of their marketplaces. It's their thing that they're doing.
We must spend money. Spend it on something. That'll do.
Let's update all our marketplaces.
All at the same time.
All at the same time. So there are a few, like all of these nice little suburb marketplaces. Ylä Malmi or Övre Malmstori. So we were just talking about the police station. So the police station is actually one of the key buildings that you'll find in this Ylä Malmi or Upper Malmi is the northern centre of Helsinki. We've got eastern like Itäkeskus, which is the eastern centre, Lauttasaari, which is maybe the western centre of Helsinki. Not that there's much business going on there, but certainly there's a lot of public service facilities here. So we've got schools. There's one of the major hospitals is here. Everyone has their own designated emergency place to go to. So for a while, ours was coming here to Malmi.
This is the only one that's open at the weekends.
Yeah, we've got
half the information because your phone's in your pocket.
The church, schools, hospital, and police station. And we have it on good authority that if you come looking for a lunch place in Malmi, police station is a place to go. So I don't know how well you remember all the different places that you could go in Helsinki to get your paperwork reviewed and approved.
When I used to do it, it was in Passila, the last time I had to do it.
Oh, okay. So you never had to... Okay, so my paperwork was handled in Punavuori when the foreigners police station was there.
The foreigners police station.
Oh, that was... that's what they seem to call it.
Shovel the foreigners out to somewhere insignificant. Yeah.
Then we were moved here to Malmi. So Malmi always reminds me, it feels like a town that was built and then Helsinki has grown and sort of grown around it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it feels to me. Malmitalo.
Yes.
Part of the many suburban talot or houses around Helsinki that are run by the culture department of Helsinki City. We've got libraries, we've got classrooms, we've got
meeting rooms, event spaces, cafes in most of them.
Cafes, yes.
In fact, I think it's compulsory that they have a cafe in them, and all the cafes are run by outside people.
Organisations that,
not necessarily organisations, because Vuotalo was run by an individual for right up until a year and a half ago.
Okay, but not by the city.
Not by the city, no.
Or Palmia, which is the city's catering arm.
No.
Any personal connections to Malmitalo?
I've been to meetings in here. My wife's company is just down here, a non-profit, which uses Malmitalo a fair amount. I use the library here a lot because it's one of the few that actually have soundproofed rooms. But it has a nice library, and the performance space in here is quite nice as well.
They have a very nice library. I've studied Finnish here for a few years upstairs. Very nice. I would catch the 79 bus. Okay, there's a swimming pool. We've got the...
Not in here, though. Not in the Malmitalo.
Not in the Malmitalo. This side of Malmi, this is Ala, Lower Malmi. The official's house is like Malmin Virastostalo, so the public service house. Helsinki Business School are here, which is on the site of the old Haaga-Helia, which before that was Helmi. And Helmi had two sides. There was either travel or there was sports and business. And I think now it's just business on that side, but that's in the park. So this part of Malmi has 5,500 people, and actually I've got 5.5k people and then 4,300 jobs.
No, there's loads of offices.
I guess,
there's loads of, and 2 shopping centres.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It just looks a little bit funny when it's written here like this.
Yeah, so that's Malmi. Where are we off to next, Heather?
Next, we are off to a little corner just on the other side of Itäkeskus. We've got Melomäki, we've got Kontula. Both of the metro lines finish at these particular places. Kivisto, what else? There's a Kurkumäki, which is its own really cool architectural little corner. I quite like Kurkumäki, so I get to talk about that one, which makes me a little bit happy.
I'm just frowning because you said both of the metro lines finish there. That's not true. The other one goes to Vuosaari.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Kontula. But for a while,
not an end station. That was only when they were renovating.
True, okay, my bad.
But they have just renovated Kontula station. I haven't been there since, so... Yes.
All right.
But yes, that will be our next episode. So that's it for Malmi.
Yes.
We will be back to visit some other things like the ice caves. But,
In summer.
Yes. When there's no ice.
When there's no ice. Or actually, when
Maybe
we
it's
work
next winter.
Maybe next winter.
Yeah.
When we actually work out where all of these places are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's it for this one. Thanks,
It
Hannah.
is. Thanks, Dan. See you next time. So much to Dan's displeasure, I forgot the name of something. I found the name and now I've recorded a little extra bit for him to add in. Bar humbug, yes. Pieni Harasteporti. So the small hobby shop is where you can buy jigsaws and jigsaw puzzle accessories. The lady that runs it is a lady by the name of Amelia Elaronta. She took part in the 2023 Finnish Jigsaw Puzzle Championships, and she is definitely someone that I want to interview at some time in the future.